Hello, travelers. I had not planned on bringing you guys another open reading, but my guides are pretty active. I'm not exactly sure if this has to do with the upcoming new moon. Uh, Usually it's the full moon that gives me the most trouble, but we've got a new moon coming up on the 18th. And it will be changing from Sagittarius going into Capricorn. We have a lot of transits, a lot of stuff happening or not happening across the ninth house of Sagittarius. So I've been doing some really interesting, what do you call it? Video readings. I still have that special going on. You get one question, 25-minute video for $25. It's called the 20 for 20. You can go over to the website by clicking on the little eye there in the corner. That'll take you directly over. I have a discount off on etheric cord cutting. You can find those over on underneath the Akashic Records reading tab. And I'm going to be posting up, I'm only going to do 1 week, a 10% discount off on Akashic Records, because I myself, I'm going to have to start getting ready to wind down for the holiday. So what we're going to do is just open these cards and see what they have to say. There's a Three of Pentacles that's just presented itself. So please keep in mind this is a general reading. The messages will not resonate with everyone. In order to gain any clarity or insight into your situation requires a personal reading. The moon. Remember, I was just talking about the moon. So there's something obviously going on that's important. And I'm going to say, you know, most of you who have gotten a reading from me know that I always tell you that there is no perfect timing. There is no timing necessarily in the tarot. Everything happens in its own divine right time. What I can do is give you my impressions of what's happening. So around this moon, and I guess that's why my guides are so active, this new moon is going to be very important for some of you. Not all of you, but for some of you. Let's get the rest of the cards down. The Nine of Wands, a King of Swords, an Ace of Pentacles, and a Seven of Swords. Well. Five of Cups, the Judgment card, and the Seven. Oh, well. Wow. Okay. Underneath the deck, well, there's the Sun card. And what we do know is that in a few days, right now, Sun is in Sagittarius. What we do know is that on the 21st or 22nd, maybe even the 23rd, the Sun will be moving into Capricorn. That is the overall energy for this particular spread. I have, this is quite, I'm not quite exactly sure what to make of this. So just bear with me a second here. Because I only have 2 major arcana in this spread. And I have, let's see, 2 swords. 2 swords. Coins, wands, and 2 cups. Right in the center, I have an ace. And the timing for the ace is the winter. So this may have to do, we've already gone through the fall solstice. The winter solstice, I think, is December 21st. If I'm not mistaken. Something should be becoming clear to you or will be illuminated to you. The Sun is the most positive card in any tarot deck. This is the overall energy. It's not the ending. For some of you, it could be. But something should be illuminated. And I do have the two luminaries here. I have both the moon and the sun. And I'm going to take those with this Ace of Pentacles as being some kind of timing. Okay, so right around the winter solstice, when the sun will be moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn, the new moon is going to herald this new period. We know that with the new moon, it's a time to end old projects and start new ones. If you're doing any magical workings, this would be a great time. If you're trying to rid yourself of any negative people, situations, or habits, you want to do those things on the new moon. I trim my hair on the new moon. It helps to grow your hair a little bit faster. Now, I've got these. Oh, I have 2 coins here. Now, let me first give you the meaning of these 2 sevens, and this is highly significant. These 2 sevens. This is past, present, future. Past, present, future with the interplay of the cards. And so on this future vertical column, I have 2 sevens. Okay, so let me tell you what these 2 sevens are trying to say. We're going to give you the 2 interpretations. All right. Now, 2 sevens together warn of false friends. Now, I would tend to think that there's some truth to this, but then there's also this theme of 3 people in this. So if this is not a group of people, let's say a group of friends, then this is at least 3 people that are known to each other, even though I only have, 1 court card here. So some of you may be dealing with an air sign male, whether you are same-sex or heterosexual, whomever's going to take the male, in the role. Now, this King of Swords represents the energy of Aquarius. The female Queen of Swords represents the energy of Libra. We know that we have transits going on in the sign of Aquarius as well. I think Hygeia, the asteroid Hygeia, and both Juno have moved or will be moving into the sign of Aquarius. Hygeia is about putting into place those safeguards just in case the worst happens. Juno is about commitment. At the top, I see this 3 of Pentacles, and this is the concept or the idea that there 2 people are going either to get some kind of financial advice, some type of assistance. They're going to a 3rd person. This 3rd person here holds some kind of either special place or special knowledge. Why? He's standing on a bench. He's slightly elevated above the other 2 people. So either he is in a higher place of honor or esteem, or he tends to know a bit more than the 2 people coming to him. Now, this is about planning and planning things and putting things together, starting something. 3s are always the start of something, okay? This is the concept of 2 things coming together to make a 3rd thing. And what we're looking at with this 3 of Pentacles is it is the start or the building of some type of structure or friendship or maybe group thing. It is a beginning. But here's the moon. And the moon says that I feel for some of you, there's something about the situation that you are unclear about, or something that it has not been shown to you or revealed to you yet. And it's causing you a bit of anxiety. We see, this is not the 9 of Swords, it's the 9 of Wands. And the 9 of Wands is that card of perseverance, of determination. I keep hearing the word, I've been burned before. This just doesn't feel right. And so this is kind of what I'm getting with the 9 of Wands, is this thing about, okay, I really don't know the whole truth behind this. I've started this thing. I don't know the whole truth behind it. I've been through, maybe you're tired of not knowing what you don't know. Let me put it that way. And what you're trying to do is just trying to maintain your energy levels so that you can get in there and still do whatever it is that you need to do. Now, across the center, I have this King of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is can be about money, a new financial opportunity coming to you. But at the same time, pentacles represent the material plane or the physical plane. So this is about doing something new. It is about doing something a different way. It is about actually rolling up your sleeves and taking a different path or tact. But we see this Seven of Swords here. Now, this Seven of Swords is traditionally interpreted as lies, deception, thievery. And as I always say, people can steal lots of things from you. They don't just have to steal your car and your money and your jewelry. They can take your respect, your time, your trust, your self-esteem. So people, this is about something being taken and it's being done in broad daylight. Now, what's interesting is that for some of you, this may have already occurred because we see that you're mourning this. Here's the Five of Cups. There's those three. See those three cups there? Remember I told you this could be definitely about a third party in the picture. And then there's these people being called to a new life. So we see that whatever this thing was that was started, something was really hinky about it. Sometimes the Seven of Swords can be the card of people doing things that seem suspicious, or you're not exactly sure, you know, what they're doing. Maybe they're buying time for themselves, and that seems a bit suspicious to you. But I do feel for some of you, this was really about the start of something, and there was some kind of deception here. And some of you are mourning that particular demise or downfall of this Three of Pentacles. Over here, we have the Nine of Wands to the King of Swords to the Seven of Cups. It almost reads as though the King of Swords has already, he had his defenses up already. Look at the stance of this king, okay? And the King of Swords is typically somebody who can be very cold and very logical and very rational. Not someone prone to a lot of emotions or emotional outbursts, but can just come and cut you to the quick. Now, by this would be somebody who's difficult to talk to, difficult to read. By profession, this may be a doctor, a lawyer, a soldier, police officer. He could be a chef, a writer. He could be an editor, somewhere where he can wield words. He can be a scientist, a researcher, some profession that calls for a lot, even a lawyer, someone who can bring about a lot of mental energy to bear. But minces no words. And if he is angry or upset, can be quite nasty about it. But then we see that there's this pentacles attached to him. But the offer, what I'm being shown is that the offer, there's something not right with the offer here. Now, and we get the meaning of the false friends. Now, here is the Five of Cups into the Judgment and to the Seven of Cups. So we see that we're mourning some kind of loss. We're trying to get some emotional readjustment. And this is about the Judgment card. This is Pluto. This is about a complete change, but something that perhaps comes from underneath. That's the way Pluto works. And the moon itself also deals with emotions, things coming up from the surface, things that you don't even know where they're coming from. You just know that it's happening. For sometimes this can be things that are quite frightening because you're dealing with issues that may have to do with childhood issues. If that is the case, then this Ace of Pentacles this is an opportunity for you to clear this energy out, but it also still leaves us with some kind of confusion. There's confusion there. This card can sometimes be about having a lot of options and not knowing exactly which one is the best one to choose. Okay. Let me give you the other meaning of the I'm not answering my door. Every time I try to do a reading for somebody, somebody's knocking on my door. That's the Mercury in retrograde. All right, 2 sevens here. Self-confidence issues may cause instability in the relationship. Remember, that's what I was just saying. This is about someone who may have been quite rude and mean to you. Or at least is speaking in a manner in which it destabilizes your own self-esteem. Now, across the way here, I think some of you are struggling with the concept of letting this person or this relationship go. You see, we've got the 2 cups on the backside. Now, I'm not exactly sure if what the cards are trying to tell me in a roundabout way. What is judgment? Judgment is really about discernment, having good judgment and discernment. And I think that for some of you, you're not seeing this clearly the way that you should. This is why the sun has come out. The sun has come out to try to illuminate something for you. And that's what the sun does. It illuminates things for you. Now, we can see by the full moon as well, but we don't see as clearly as in the broad light of day. For some of you, this may be one of the 13th century interpretations of the 7 of Swords is about a home move. I don't necessarily see that when I see this card, but maybe this is, maybe you're trying to sign off on a house loan, and the person that you're dealing with is rather shady. They're offering you something, but there's something not right with it. For others of you, this could be the collapse of some kind of project or the start of a relationship, almost as if before it even got started, it just kind of collapsed. It is this road down the center. I want to look at something for you. Just 1 second. I want to see if I can be shown, if the cards will tell me, having them here, will tell me anything about these pip cards sitting next to, I'm going to look at the 3 of coins, the 9 of wands, the 7 of swords, the 5 of cups, and the 7 of cups sitting next to these 2 major arcana cards. Okay, let's see here. 7 of cups, I already have it up. Nothing about the 7 of cups next to the judgment. Let's go to the 5 of cups to judgment. Oh, wait a minute. It's almost like this is, sometimes I see this card as expecting the worst, and an opportunity comes in that really can be something quite good for you, but because you expect the worst, you kind of get the worst. I don't know. Now, this is interesting. The 5 of cups next to the judgment tells that karmic conditions have passed with the debt being paid. There are now new endeavors. And that's what I was talking to you. Remember I said we got the north node and the south node here of the moon? That's Aquarius. South node and Aquarius. Yeah, that's what's coming to me with this now. It's about pouring energy into something that has its time has come. The discernment. But some of you are confused about whether or not you should let that go. Okay, it's quite interesting. Let me go back to the 9 of wands next to the moon card, if I can get some information on that. Then I'm going to pull Sibila's. Let me see the 3 of coins next to the moon. Nothing. Now, let me, oh, did I look at the Seven of Swords? I didn't look at the Seven of Swords, I don't think. Let me look at the Seven of Swords. I think I kind of skipped over that one. I'm sorry about that. For some of you, this is definitely some kind of business interpretation. Now, next to any other seven is an indication that huge life changes are about to take place in your life. It is a strong indication that you have reached an important point in your life and change is inevitable. It tells of starting over under new or different circumstances and that new favorable conditions abound. That's why the sun has come out. Remember, we're talking about karmic conditions. So for those of you who have been struggling, perhaps in areas of work or relationships and or friendships, for some of you, indeed, you still need to be on guard because there are some shady people around you. And for some of you, this could be about the entrance or someone who's already presented themselves coming to you with a new opportunity. There's that Seven of Swords there. For others of you, as I said, for some of you, this may have already started. For others of you, this is playing out. It might occur, start happening around the new moon. For others of you, this will play out probably until past the Mercury retrograde. So if your spidey senses get the tingling, please pay attention to that. Have somebody double check everything, triple check everything. This Nine of Wands next to the moon. I'm going to lay cards on that. Look at that. Isn't that something? The precious presence, a gift not unselfish. So maybe this was you trying to help somebody or somebody new coming into your life. I do feel that this is somebody you know. Somebody that you have already started something with. Okay? From the past, and we see that it had already collapsed. It's kind of telling the same story across this. And for some of you, you're kind of in a position where you're done with the fighting. Maybe you're being obstinate. Maybe you're being stubborn and you're not wanting to budge from your position. You still got that fighting spirit. The reason why I say that is we see the precious presence, the contract, the limoneo. But then there is the disgrazia, the Tower card. So this is about extreme misfortune. So something really, really bad happened underneath this moon or will be happening underneath this moon. I don't know what this is. I want to take a look at the Five of Cups. Then I'm going to look at the two sevens together. Five of Cups. Superbia. Arrogance, vanity, haughtiness. I'm right and you're wrong, so to speak. It is somebody's cock of the walk. That's what I'm trying to say. Here is Fortuna, the Wheel of Fortune. Now, we were talking about that card of karmic debts being paid, okay? And the Morte. Now, sometimes this card can be, we can say it's about success or pride, all right? Somebody showing you their true colors. And luckily for you, Wheel of Fortune has come in to say that debt is paid now. The Morte, a complete and utter separation from a situation. So this really is about, I think, some of you trying to make the decision of cutting someone out of your life. If that person has not cut you out, okay? In which case, I think this is a decision coming up for some of you. Let's look at these two sevens. Hmm. Hmm. False friends. Uh, somebody lying or not telling the truth or hiding things. These Seven of Cups, not, you don't trust what it is that you are saying or being shown. I can't bring it across anymore. Here is the anxiety, the dispiacere. See that woman crying, the worry. La vecchia signora. This is the old confidant, the old friend. Um, typically, this might be a relative or something, so I'm not exactly sure if the cards are telling me that it's the... I don't think it is the relative who's lying to you. It's coming across like somebody's saying to you, I told you so. There's a doctore. This is the idea, the concept of help, of nurturing, someone coming in to try to take care of you. I just want to pull cards. I'm going to put these cards, I want to look at these together right quick. The King of Swords, the Moon, and the Judgment card. I want to look at these three cards together with the Sibilas. I don't see any messages coming through or any news, so I don't know. An announcement of some sort. And sometimes I see this card as the help is on the way card. That's the international symbol for the hospital. And if that's the case, whatever this thing is, it's going to throw the situation into complete confusion. You're going to have to try to figure out who your friend is. Well. The domestico. Now, the domestico is a helper. He's somebody who wants to help. That is his role, a domestic. But he's also known as a collaborator. Okay? This is somebody who appears to be your friend, but isn't, is motivated perhaps through something else. This can also be the man returning. The prigione, constraint and limitation over the Moon card. You don't know why this person is either not budging, not moving, not what it is that they're doing. It's come to a standstill. The dilettante over the Judgment card. So for some of you, that's stupid actions or stupid behavior. So I'm not exactly sure if the cards are telling me that some news is going to come that causes stupid actions or stupid behavior, or that there has been some kind of shady crap going on, and you're going to get the news that's going to help you make the decision that you need to make. But right now, everything is quite confusing. Isn't that interesting? Remember, I told you guys, my cards have been just talking and talking, and they've been telling some weird stories. I don't necessarily have to understand what I'm reading to get that, but those are those three cards. Where did these come from? Just one more thing. I put cards over that. Let's see what this Three of Pentacles is all about. Because what it looks like is somebody comes to offer you something. Now, this could be a relationship, and maybe you accept it, and when you accept it, it throws up a whole bunch of confusion. For others of you, you're trying to go through your karmic payment. Okay, maybe this is a past life. Somebody's coming back for payment. You owe them. You did somebody wrong in a past life, and now they're back to do you wrong. I mean, that sucks, but remember I was talking, you said maybe it's about a house, but this is, to me, speaks to the success of starting a new life with someone, or starting a new project. That even looks like a bank to me, but it's about the building of something new. That's what that's about. Wow, that's quite interesting. So that's what I have for you. I hope those messages helped you. Um, I really don't know how that's going to go. I can't say one way or the other. That you know, it's a personal thing. So I hope those messages help. And until next time, namaste.